There are some people who don't deserve internet access, and should instead spend their time being productive members of society, and not drawing racist pictures of women in CP. Other people should apologize to every tree they've used the oxygen from. Good evening, Darklings. I was just minding my business, scrolling through my notifications on Discord, catching up on what's going on, when one of the lovely people in my Discord server decided to curse me and everyone else in the server with this. Talk about gross. But I went and made the horrible mistake of scrolling through this dude's social media. And not only is the dude racist, he's also a chomo, and draws CP, specifically of babies. And if you piss him off, apparently he'll send you gore out of your OC, or draw your OC sexually to upset you. You know, just generally harassing you and being a prick. And yes, I know what I'm opening myself up to by making this video, but this pathetic creep needs to be spoken about. And while I'm not a huge creator, I have a steady audience. Coyote Lovely's videos were made a year ago, and back then did good. But the walking parasite still continues to do gross shit, so here we are. This user, more commonly known as Shirtbusters, and if you Google him, you will actually find a few things about him. Don't Google him, you'll get gross stuff. I'm leaving all the videos and rant about him in the description. 2 videos done by Coyote Lovely, a Twitter thread that links to a Google Doc by Zedrin, a poor user who apparently been harassed by Shirtbusters for 6 years now! And 1-hour core archive. And there's a Kiwi Farms thread that talks about him. This is the only one I won't link, because apparently YouTube gets mad about Kiwi Farm links. I'm making this video because this dude's been around for years, and apparently it seems like not a lot of people know who the hell he is, or that he's still, you know, existing in our general space. So I'm just here to spread the word about the racist chomo. You'll have to pause and read screenshots. Normally I would read them aloud because I know the agony of having to pause and read things in the middle of a video. But I'm sorry, I can't with these. I don't even feel comfortable having a bot read them for me for the video. They're gross and uncomfy, and that's coming from me of all people. Just to give you a quick list of the things he's most well known for, he has a history of drawing adult images of toddlers and infants, drawing adult images of Maya's OCs unrequested, and sending it to them. If his fan art isn't responded to, he follows up with a death threat to the artist, or draws gore out of them. He has a history of making racist caricatures of people's POCs, or even the artists themselves. He verbally assaults and abuses younger artists unprovoked. Copious amounts of death threats, like, holy shit, it's a 12-year-old on COD again. Honestly, I'm not sure how to go about organizing this video, but I will do my best. I don't guarantee this video will be good. And I will put a massive trigger warning here because we're about to get into the deep dive of this fuckery. There is racist caricatures, general racism, so much gross shit. I guess, to start off, I said I discovered Shirtbusters through a friend on Discord who showed me the racist caricatures he calls OCs. Oh, and his gross little white boy self-insert. I want to deeply censor all of this, but I know if I do, people will just end up going to find him to see the full context. So as uncomfy as this makes me, here it is. He made these characters because SB is into race play, and for those who don't know what it is, basically it's a racism kink. And because this dude has a racism kink, all his POCs are a racist stereotype, and all of them make me insanely uncomfortable. Oh, and after a while he posted these, he made another post sharing another POC character he stopped using because of her poor design. She's just a gross depiction of a very stereotypical Hawaiian woman, and I don't even want to say that. This dude can't colour skin correctly. Why is she green? Now, if you think racist caricatures are bad, just wait. Oh, because it gets worse. He just outright has an OC, Barnaby's sister, apparently, who is a horrendous racist. And he will type out the N-word, hard R, and everything. And he does a, very shitty job of crossing it out. There's another part of his weird, gross race play fetish that I'm so disgusted by the blatant racism he is showing. You cannot, I repeat, cannot be into this without being racist or having internalized racism. Just like you can't like Loli or Shotacom without being a predator. Here's another picture he did of Bernadette. Honestly, was tempted to censor more because most of the text in this picture is gross to read. But at that point, I would have a majority of the screen covered. Recently, he made another Twitter account because he keeps getting harassed off the platform, rightfully so in my humble opinion, where he made another racist picture of his self-insert and one of the caricatures. I don't even want to call them by the race he's trying to stereotype. And he posted a racist caricature of someone else's OC! And apparently this is something he's done to this user's characters a lot, and has actively stalked them and their mutuals for 2 years. This dude needs a hobby outside of CP and racism. Try knitting or community service, please make yourself useful. Honestly, the race play is somehow not the worst thing this degenerate has done. It's still gross and messed up, it's 22. Racism isn't kinda cool. But compared to everything else I've seen, this is somehow tame. This is where the video takes a further step into hell in my opinion. Because this is where I'll start talking about the CP he's drawn, or the fetishes he pushes onto fucking babies. So please, for the love of all that is unholy, if you cannot handle that, leave. Go watch kitten videos or red panda videos or something. Do not make yourself uncomfortable for curiosity's sake. I did so and now I regret so many things. I don't even know where to start with this. So I guess I'll just start with the first child character of his I saw. Ube, who he recently redesigned to be, and I quote, more harmonious with his kinks. And just saying that makes me want to commit seppuku. I feel like even if it's impossible, I need to bring honor back to my family. He has drawn multiple pictures of this literal infant, doing sexual acts to an unknown character. But I'm going to make the assumption it's supposed to be him, since he's a disgusting incel of a chomo man. Obviously, I can't show the images on YouTube because 1, it's adult pictures, 2, it's adult pictures of children. Honestly, I feel like I'm risking my monetization enough just by talking about this fucking weirdo. So, don't be surprised if you see this video completely disappear eventually, because I value my monetization. This is his second infant character, Maya, who is also a cat! Right, another fucking weirdo in the furry community. Julius Day! Thankfully, there's only one more child character of his that I've been able to find. Lily, who happens to be a character of colour. God, because we didn't need any more racism. There's not really a lot to say about these other than ew, fucking nasty, please receive the death penalty. But I can't exactly make these claims without proof of action, so here you go, really, really gross proof. Other than those, he's made a couple of posts defending Lolicon and the art he does in general. In the last picture, he totally misappropriated that quote. When that quote says, art that makes you uncomfortable is the most powerful, art that conveys a message about an uncomfortable or scary reality, or maybe depicts something that a lot of people don't want to talk about just yet, in general or something like that, it most definitely did not mean CP and racist caricatures. People like him use anything they can to prove themselves right, and it's fucking obnoxious because they'll take things completely out of context to do that. In conclusion, block Shirtbusters, report and block him, but other than that, please do not interact with him. Do not expose yourself to the fucking depravity that is that pathetic thing. Well, that's it for this video. There wasn't really a whole lot to say, because everything to say has already been said. And I'm not here to repeat all the arguments, I'm just here to spread the word around. Because apparently, there's not a lot of people who actually know who this guy is. And if you're in the art community, I think it's important to be aware of guys like him, so you can avoid them at all costs. I know this video is a bit on the harsher side, and I haven't talked about anything this serious since that fucking pedo pony OC. But it needed to be said. I'm going to try and make the next video something more lighthearted, you know, like my usual content of just screaming, but I make no guarantees because there's someone else that needs to be talked about. But I'll see you then, Darklings. Good night.